Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of the Professor's Picks. Alongside in the co-captain's chair, as always, the professor himself, Mr. Ken Golden. What's going on, man?
Hello from freezing cold Voorhees, New Jersey.
It's freezing cold here in the Hudson Valley too. Windy, chilly. Woo!
Oh man,
Winter is
I got to
here.
tell you, I've been dying to trim my beard, but as soon as I walk outside to walk the dog, I'm like, I'm not taking this beard off. I'm waiting for it to
Whatever
warm up.
little warmth it's given my chin, it's staying there, right?
That's absolutely right. I'm like, so I'm sorry if if I look a little scraggly. So
I've seen you with the beard, without the beard so many times. It's like every couple of weeks I figure you're going to throw me away.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. So
Nice SOT shirt, by the way. That's old school. That's the first one. I believe that's the first one we ever did.
yeah, oh cool. This is the one I got at the up in at the festival.
Yeah.
So.
And for those of you asking why it's backwards, because when we're on Zoom and we use the Prezi app to show images, the shitty thing about the app is that it reverses our image. I would
And
think by this point in time we don't have to
Zoom is the
explain it anymore, but someone will ask. So,
yes, and Zoom's the only one that has that issue, it seems. StreamYard didn't have that issue, right?
no, no. And I know there's other video services that people use that have this kind of capability and it doesn't do that. So I don't know what Zoom's
Yeah,
issue is. It's like the most used video conferencing tool on the planet, and they can't get this little thing taken care of.
yeah. They,
I
they
don't know.
just don't care.
Yeah.
I, well, this is not like a robust week for releases, but I've got some stuff.
Okay, cool.
So it's not going to be I don't think we're going to have a marathon then.
All
I
right.
do have some cool stuff coming next week. I got a lot of cheap shit coming for next week. So we'll see. I've got a huge shipment of Dream Theater coming in anticipation. It's a month away. All right, February 7th.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. It came here pretty quick.
Believe me, Jim and I, we have so much packing to do for that. It's crazy. I told you that first day we had over 400 orders. It was insanity. So with two people, imagine what it's going to take. I packed the vinyl and the art books, and we got box sets, and then the CDs, and I think there's two different versions, and then sorting it out, and then you got the guys who order like one of each. It, it it's gonna it's gonna take a while, so we need a little bit of a head start.
Hopefully the album is fantastic and it'll be worth the wait.
I like what they put out so far.
I only heard the one song. I didn't listen to the second one, and I really liked the first one a lot. So
Yeah,
I'm
those,
I'm me with these pre-release songs. I don't want to hear half the album before it comes
yeah,
out. One song teaser I'm okay with, but just I just want to hear the album in its entirety when it comes
yeah.
out, start to finish. That's just me. That's old
If I
school.
don't know if I don't know the band, and I'm exploring something to put to bring into sell, be good if I can get a taste of it, so I have some sense of what it is. But otherwise, I'm with you. I want to hear the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. All right, you want to get into it?
Go for it.
All right, let's do the pre-orders first. So this may be a surprise for people. The new Jethro Tull. It's called Curious Ruminant. Comes out March 7th. And we have one, two, three, we have four different versions of this. There's a CD Digipack. There's going to be a 2 CD Blu-ray art book. There's a limited deluxe ultra clear vinyl, 2 LP vinyl, 2 CD Blu-ray art book. It comes with two photo prints, and we're going to have black vinyl. Uh, there is a slight change in the lineup. There is a new guitar player, Jack Clark, not to be confused with the baseball player, Jack Clark.
So was he the guy who stepped in and did the live shows on the last tour?
Maybe. I don't.
I know they had a change of guitar players like late in the game. I don't know. I
Yeah,
have to look it up. The name doesn't sound familiar though.
yeah. He was a
Yeah.
good first baseman. And then you got Bruce Sword did all mixed it. He did the Dolby Atmos, all that stuff, all the surround stuff. So that's Jethro Tull. Oh, let's see here. This is what the stuff's in the box set. So, all right. Next thing, one other pre-order. This one, Streets on March 14th. Stephen Wilson, The Overview. And supposedly this is a return to the progressive rock realm. Two side-long tracks. I don't think it's super long, but this is what we got. So we got a CD in a jewel case. We got a Blu-ray, and then we have black vinyl. Now, people are going to ask, but Ken, what about the art book? The art book you get from Stephen Wilson's website. It's not being put into US distribution. I don't think it's being put into distribution. And I was on Stephen Wilson's website and it's already showing as sold out. So if something changes and it's made available to us, we'll certainly have it. But for the moment, I ain't got it. So, so that's March 14th, and the Blu-ray is going to have all kinds of high-res stuff, and I think it may have some extra tracks. I'm not sure. Okay, just a couple of quick restocks. This was a great album, Forgotten Gods, Memories. This came out at the very end of last year, and I think one of the best releases to come out last year. British neo-prog, very much like IQ, and really well done. And we got it, went through them right away, just got the restock in on it, and everybody who had gotten it loves it. So we're getting a lot of really good feedback on it. Another restock. This is a 4 CD Led Zeppelin Live and on the Air. It's all old stuff. Well, it's Led Zeppelin. It's got to be old stuff, right? So, but it's that was dumb, right? So, all old stuff again, and at 4 discs worth. I don't have it in front of me. I think it was 60s stuff, late 69, 70, something like that. And
Which I remember the first time you had this available, I thought was strange because
yeah,
the cover art is like In Through the Outdoors. So it's like you would
let me
think it'd be like
let
late
me see.
70s stuff, you
I
know?
got it right. Yeah, 1969. You got, oh, geez, Texas so tiny. Stockholm, Paris. You got a John Peel session. It's all, yeah, it's all 1969 stuff. Can't beat it. I mean, it's Led Zeppelin. And it's
Yeah.
pretty reasonably priced for a 4 disc set. All right, let's get into the new stuff. Not a tremendous amount of stuff, but we'll hit it. It's a good story with this one. Brewers and Klazinga, Second Thoughts. So, excuse me. So, I you may remember a band that I work with. I think we did their first 5 albums. Night Area, Dutch band,
Yeah.
symphonic rock, and they were very symphonic, kind of neo, but they used to have elements of like Camel and stuff. And then they had a little bit of a change in the lineup, new singer, and they went in a little bit of a heavier direction for their last 2 albums, got a little more metallic. So, keyboard player Jakob Brouwers, he was gifted a studio session with Night Era keyboardist Gerben Klazinga, and the two guys hit it off, and they made an album, which was basically a side project to Night Era, and they brought back Mark Smits, who was the original Night Area vocalist, who was not on the last 2 albums. They brought him in, and they put out an album. Well, this is now the second album,
Oh,
and so it's Brewers and Klazinga, Second Thoughts, which I think was kind of a clever name. And Mark Smits is the vocalist again, and he's now an official member. And they brought in Mark Bogerts, who was the guitarist in Night Area. And Gerben is a multi-instrumentalist. I mean, besides being a great keyboard player, he also plays drums, he plays a bit of guitar and bass on here. And if you're a fan of the earlier Night Area sound, that's symphonic, the Dutch call it sympho prog. And if you're into that style, longish tracks, no epics, no 20-minute epics, but 7, 8 minute tracks, stuff like that. And you like that early Night Area sound, this is spot on. This is like Night Area 3.0 or 4.0 or something like that. It's very, very good. Next one, Crocofant, Crocofant 6. Norwegian. This is on Is It Jazz, the Charisma, you
Shoot.
know, offshoot. So did you get this one? Have you heard this one?
Something. I don't know if I have that, but I got something else there from my label.
They
No, I got what was it, The Verge, which is
right.
underused.
Yeah, we talked about the Verge, I think, a couple of weeks ago. So,
Yeah.
so the thing with Crocofant,
I might
they
have that here somewhere, but it sounds familiar, but
they're very good. It is jazz rock, a lot of sax and stuff. At one point, Stali Starloken, the great keyboard player from Elephant Nine, was in the band, but they're back down to being a trio, and it gets a little skronky, but good stuff, good jazz. It's jazz rock, and is it jazz? Well, that'll be up to you to decide. Next thing, now this may or may not be here, but I'll mention it anyway because we're down to the last two. The Opeth Last Will and Testament box set. I had mentioned last week. I said we may not have it, and if you see it, grab it. Well, we still got a couple left as of the moment that we're recording. So if it's gone, don't shoot me. You had your chance. All right, next, Pink Floyd. Controls Are Set, live in Essex, 1971, 2 CD. This just showed up a few minutes ago, really. It is an audience, definitely an audience, but it's a really good audience, and it's a great set. You want to know the set? I'll tell you the set.
I predict that will go quick.
All those Floyds go quick, you know. Ken, why didn't you have a little stack of the new releases sitting on your desk so you didn't have to get up? Guess I didn't think of it. Adam Hart Mother, Embryo, Careful with That Axe Eugene, Astronomy Domine, that's the first disc. Cymbeline, Set the Controls, For the Heart of the Sun, A Saucer Full of Secrets. Doesn't get better than that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
if you
good.
want, that's what you want. So, and like I said, it's an audience, but it's a really nice, very listenable audience. And a lot of instrumental stuff. So, a lot of times a lot of times the vocals are kind of recessed on these audience recordings. They kind of get lost a little bit. There's there's vocals, but it's a lot of instrumental stuff. Next, Proportions, The Powers of Ten. So this was an interesting release. I'm not sure how many Proportions albums there are. We carried at least one previous. They're basically like an internet band. They're Canadian and European members, and I think they send files around. Um, there's a bit of a Gentle Giant influence, and I'm doing this from memory, so somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. The previous one, for some reason, I thought was either all instrumental or mostly instrumental. I could be wrong. This one has vocals on it, and yeah, there's a little, you could tell there's some Gentle Giant influence in there, but overall, it's a prog rock album and very well done. So I like the cover. So probably AI generated, but I like it. Next thing we got here, Alex Bayrott's Voodoo Circle, Hail to the King. You got that one?
Yeah, I just got it the other day.
I listened to a little bit of it. But for me, I call that melodic metal. It's kind of
Yeah, it's very much like White Snake and like Rainbow.
yeah, I was gonna say Rainbow, that kind of a thing.
Always
So
very good band. I've liked everything they've done. Great
yeah,
singer, great guitar playing.
yeah, good stuff. So we got that. I think that's the only metal thing we had this week.
And
But
that's technically a late 2024 release, right? I believe, or is that
um,
five?
yeah, I think it actually streeted for the US. I think it might have actually streeted like last Friday. Not
So it might,
sure.
yeah, because I know because I only just got it like a couple days ago, and I remember hearing about it late in the year, but I didn't think it released late in the year. But the back of the CD says 2024, but I'm like, maybe in Europe? I don't know. I got to
I
look.
think so. I think that's what happened. I think they moved the street date. It showed up here on Friday last week. So that's why it wasn't in last week's video.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it was like right after we were done and it showed up. I put it up on the website. So Okay, next, but anyway, just go back. If you're into that whole melodic metal, like I said, Rainbow, all that
Mhm.
stuff, it's right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's a
It's
really good band. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
very well crafted. Okay, White Willow, Storm Season. This is one of White Willow's best albums. This was like their heaviest album that we did. So the rights have reverted back to the band, and now Charisma has reissued it. Uh, Jacob Lupo has remastered it. I don't think there was any remixing or anything like that. But basically, it's a reissue of an album that hasn't been available for a long time. So it basically was a heavier side to White Willow. It's not a metal album or anything like that, but it just has a little bit of a harder edge, and I think I think it's one of the best albums.
It's kind of like it's got its anecdote-ish moments.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good way of putting it.
that kind
So
of heavy. It's not metal, yeah, but
yeah, but
for
yeah,
them it's heavy. It's heavier. Yeah.
yeah. Now I need your help with the next one because I've made one pass through it and I'm not even sure how to describe it. Wizard Elements.
Yeah, I had a hard time reviewing it because I like it, but it's just like everything that I had read and all the descriptions of the album totally was not what I was hearing. Like people call it like it's like because they're from Norway, Norwegian prog meets indie rock meets jazz meets pop, and I'm like, I don't hear any jazz on it.
Yeah.
It's not traditional Norwegian prog at all. To me, what it sounds like is like a more modern take on 90125 era. Yes, that's what it sounds like.
Okay.
The singer sounds like Trevor Rabin. It's that very well produced and arranged kind of early 80s prog with lots of pop. It's very good, but I don't
I
hear any
was
jazz on it. They even say that.
No, that I didn't pick up on. Like I said, I only made one pass through it. I remember hearing a decent amount of organ on there.
Very good. Yeah, yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Good.
and yeah, I mean, I call it a prog album.
It
It's
certainly
not
is.
a sim.
I think this whole indie rock thing that I keep reading about is also throwing me off. I get where they're coming from. I guess because the vocals are very like accessible and there's an element of pop to it, but I don't know. I just from the first moment I put it on, I was like, it just sounds like Trevor Rabin era, yes, to
Yeah,
me. That's not necessarily a bad thing, right? It's
yeah, and
accessible, prog and good guitar work. The keys are nice. It's very good. It's
yeah,
very
and they call it Norwegian prog, but it's not the Chronicles of Father Rob.
No, it doesn't sound like Wobbler. It doesn't sound like Too
Yeah,
Small, George Joe. It doesn't sound like any of those bands at all.
no, there's no
Very
there's no
different.
symphonic thing happening. It's
No, no.
it's rocking. It's more
It is.
rocking.
It is. Yeah.
That's yeah.
It's quite
So
good.
that just showed up. And the last thing, vinyl, you reviewed, you interviewed. Well, you did the interview with Troy, Dark Deceiver, and so this was Troy Tipton's pet project. So this was his favorite. This was his favorite Zero Hour album, and he wanted to do something with it on vinyl. Maybe when I put out Towers of Avarice on vinyl, maybe that got it kicked him in the ass a little. I don't know. So basically, so it's not the full album. It's what we got about I don't know about a little under 40 minutes worth of the album, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah. I think it's missing two tracks.
He
Uh,
was he was picking his favorites,
yeah.
and I guess he didn't want to do three sides. I didn't ask him really. Um, what?
Yeah, he would have had to pay for additional mastering to do an expanded set. Wanted to have the best possible sound. I mean, I get it.
Yeah,
There's going to be a lot of people like, oh, but you got to have the other two songs. But you have the best songs on there. That's
yeah. So and yeah, and he was being very meticulous, and I don't know if people realize it, but like lacquer cutting is very expensive.
yeah.
So and to do a double album, it would have cost him easily, $1,500 to $2,000, and then he only made 100 copies of this thing. So the, the other option is doing what they call DMM, direct metal mastering, where you send this file, you just send files in, and then they cut the computer cuts them, and there's there's a difference in sound quality. DMMs, and I've done both. So DMM could sound a little it depends, but could sound a little sterile, whatever. But if you really want to go all out, having somebody cut lacquers is the way to go. And so this was his passion. This is his labor of love. So it's expensive, and it's strictly a function of how expensive it was for him to do this. And I'm pleased to say it's selling. So he didn't send us.
You have a lot left. You probably don't have many
Oh,
left.
I've got like 3 copies left.
Wow.
So they're $50 a pop. But he said if when I sell out, if you want, he'll sell me some more. So
Yeah, I know because Jason's got the
you got
rest of the inventory, and I don't know how many he has left, but I know Troy said he has been selling them pretty consistently. And I know once
yeah.
we popped the video up, I know people reached out and were either bought them from you or bought them from Jason directly. So
Well, one other thing I'm going to mention, I'm doing this automatic. I only do this on request if a customer asks, but for 0 hour, I'm taking them out of the sleeve because they're expensive. And I don't want anybody to get seam splits on the jacket or anything like that. So uh, when you get it, don't say, "Hey, why are you sending me a used album? Why is this open?" or anything like that. I'll show you because, like, I just give you an example. This is not up on the website. It just came in from overseas. It's the new Super Sister album, right? And they came in, they shipped them to me. They came in with seam splits. I'm going to put this up on the website at a discount just to get rid of them. But because what happens is they put heavyweight vinyl in there, and it shifts around, and then it wants to do the alien chest burster and come out. So anyway, when you get it, I'm automatically with this particular album. I do that with Dr. Tree also. If anybody, you're buying a something very expensive, I want to make sure it gets to you in one piece. Uh, so yes, don't complain to me if you get it and say why is this open? Because it's open. And the last thing, we're gonna keep it going while we still have supplies last. Some free shit. We still have Hour of the Shipwreck. The hour is upon us. Put in the customer notes. Check it before you wreck it. We're getting down to the end. Check it before you wreck it in the customer notes, and we'll give you a free copy of Hour of the Shipwreck. The hour is upon us. Very, very nice symphonic prog album from a band from California. I think it was 2008. And the band is no more. They sent us free copies to give away, giving away. So that's what we got this week.
cool. So as always, we'll have the entire list pinned down in the comments. So be on the lookout for that for all you copy and paste fanatics. I know it's the easy way to do it, right? And head on over to lasercd.com and happy shopping, everybody. And as always,
Buy a lot, buy often.
right,
Very important.
exactly, exactly. And be on the lookout coming up real soon for all that wonderful Dream Theater selections that you've got there. There's
It's
all
coming.
sorts of choices.
It's coming before you realize it.
Yeah.
And it's a month away. And we should say we have some really cool cheap shit coming for next week. So
Oh,
we'll have,
okay.
we'll have some cool stuff. So,
Nice. Very cool. All righty. So we'll see you all next week here on the Professor's Picks. And coming up this weekend, we've got Jamie Laszlo and the review crew. I think they're doing another one of those retro review episodes. I think they're doing 1990 or some year in the 90s. And Jamie told me today he's got like 11 or 12 people. And he's going to keep it under an hour. So, yeah, you're going to see all sorts of people on this show. It should be loads of fun. So, that's coming up tomorrow. And then I will be ranking the albums of the great Swiss band Toad on Sunday. So be on the lookout for that. All sorts of albums here to talk about. And for those of you who are saying, "Who the hell is Toad?" Well, watch and learn and find out. Very cool band that started. I guess their first album or two is more in the kind of like heavy rock kind of.
Dick Vergot, right? Dick
Yeah,
Vergot was
yeah, great guitar player. Yeah, they experiment with blues rock, heavy rock, proto metal, little bits of prog, little bits of funk stuff, and yeah, they did a little bit of everything, but all very guitar oriented, very cool band from Switzerland. I think they were their first album or two were signed on a major label, but yeah,
They were, yeah, I
very,
think, was it EMI maybe? It might have been.
it might be EMI, yeah. So, but kind of unknown here. But if you're into like obscure heavy rock and stuff from the 70s, you're gonna want to watch this episode. Really cool stuff. So yeah, that's what's happening here over the weekend. Also, maybe a couple other things popping up on the channel too. So visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. And if you want to get one of those lovely shirts like Ken is wearing right now, please click the link below the Sea of Tranquility merch page. That's our original shirt right there. We've got lots of other ones. We've got In the Proxy, we got Hudson Valley Square. There you go. We've got the whale shirt, we've got the dragonfly shirt, we've got the giant octopus shirt, we've got the snake shirt, we've got metal shirts, we've got prog shirts, and we have some comic book user stuff too. My other channel. So, yeah, so go investigate that down below. The link is down there. We'll see you next time here on the Professor's Picks for Ken Golden. I am Pete Pardo. Happy shopping, everyone. Enjoy the music you get. And we'll see you back here next week for more. Till then, take care.
Take care.